Long ago, in a small village called Mtoni, a series of terrifying events erupted. Every night, strange sounds echoed from the forest. Heavy footsteps and frightening noises resounded as if they came from otherworldly creatures. The villagers were alarmed, and everyone began to fear going outside after dark. It didn't take long before people started disappearing mysteriously. Week after week, the village lost more of its inhabitants, and those who remained lived in constant fear, unsure who would be next. Those who tried to find answers returned shaken and deeply afraid. In the darkness of night, unknown creatures were seen in the distant lights, but anyone who approached came back unconscious, with no memory of what they had witnessed. As the situation worsened, the village elders gathered for a serious meeting to discuss ways to end this nightmare. After reaching an agreement, they appointed two wise and brave elders, Elder Mbundu and Elder Timbira. These elders were renowned for their wisdom and experience with the supernatural, and in their old age they carried many stories about the forests, night creatures, and spirits that were part of the village's heritage. Elder Mbundu and Elder Timbira were tasked with investigating the situation in secret, and for 21 days they devoted themselves to their investigation. Each night they entered the forest, questioning the night creatures, examining bushes and caves, trying to understand what was stalking the villagers. Finally, after those 21 days, the elders returned to the village with faces full of sorrow and grief. At an urgent village meeting, elders Mbundu and Timbira delivered their heavy report. They explained that after thorough research and investigation, they had encountered a strange shadow, tall and possessing unusual powers, moving silently but causing great fear to anyone who approached it. They described how this shadow roamed the village, preying on people who were alone at night, and whenever it neared someone, sounds of sorrow and mournful laughter were heard. After the report, the elders decided to call upon Mwana Kondo, a brave young man famed for his courage and daring spirit. They gave him the task of confronting the shadow, believing that with his strength he could stop the menace threatening the village. However, the elders knew that Mwana Kondo needed more than just bravery. He needed knowledge of the shadow's secrets to succeed. On the night before Mwana Kondo went to battle, his grandfather, Elder Timbira, approached him quietly and said, "My grandson, there is a great secret about this strange shadow. Many have tried and many have perished. But when I was in the forest, I discovered that this shadow cannot withstand the light of the Kurunzi lantern." Continuing, Elder Timbira explained that the Kurunzi lantern's light held a unique power against the shadow, and if Mwana Kondo used it correctly, the shadow could be defeated and vanish forever. "You must wait for the shadow to come close, then do not fear. Shine the Kurunzi light directly on it. That is when you will see it melt like smoke, dissipating into the air." The next morning, Mwana Kondo prepared for his nighttime journey. He strapped on his sword and took the Kurunzi lantern given to him by his grandfather. He waited for nightfall, and when the moon was high in the sky, he headed into the forest. As he entered the woods, strange sounds began to fill the air. Distant wails of mourning and cries of pain surrounded him. Alone in the heart of the forest, a tall shadow appeared, circling him in anger. Mwana Kondo stood firm, unafraid. Then, with steady hands, he shone the Kurunzi light directly onto the shadow. The shadow's eyes were engulfed by the light, emitting a sizzling sound as if melting in fire. It cried out in sorrow, rapidly losing strength, slowly dissolving and vanishing like smoke fading into the air. Mwana Kondo triumphed, and the village of Mtoni found peace once more. The story of the shadow remained as a warning to the villagers, reminding them that courage and wisdom are the greatest weapons against the fears of the night. Thus, the village regained its calm, and the name of Mwana Kondo was praised for generations to come.